Hello, everyone. Shelby Page, credit expert, coming to you live today to give you guys some free credit repair tips. Um, if you know me and follow me, you know that I am big on credit restoration as well as building excellent personal and business credit. If you're an entrepreneur, business credit is just as important as excellent personal credit. So I often get messages, inbox messages, or people will go through the consultation process and they will say, you know, I really can't afford to pay you to help me right now, but are there ways that I can start helping myself? And I always say yes. There are ways. Excuse the background noise. Of course, I'm in the car, so I'm not sure what that thing is that started up. But again, I apologize. Hopefully, you can still hear me and understand me and receive the information. The first tip is check your credit often. I advise you to check your credit at least every 90 days. Um, we have identity theft at an all-time high, as well as just everyday mistakes. Most systems that credit repair, that the credit bureaus use are electronic, and we know technology has malfunctions. There are things that are added to credit reports daily that do not belong to you. So if you're keeping an eye on things and you're checking them often, you're able to catch the slightest indifference that, again, it's not you. So first tip: check your reports, check it often. Use a free service like Credit Karma if you cannot afford a paid service. Some of the paid ones, and of course, if you want to get all three bureaus as well as monitoring, I would recommend Experian.com or CreditCheckTotal.com. They both give you all three bureau reports as well as monitoring for a small monthly fee. Again, if you can't afford those, use one of the free monitoring sites. The second tip is do not pay your bills more than 29 days late. When I say do not pay your bills more than 29 days late, that is because once you hit the 30-day late status, one 30-day late can affect your credit score for 2 years. And some people are like, yes, one 30-day late can affect your credit score for 2 whole years to come. And I know it doesn't make sense, nor is it fair that you pay on account for 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, ever how many years, and then you forget, or you're sick and you lose your job, or just anything could happen. You just forgot. It slipped your mind, and you paid late, and now your credit score took a 40, 60, even an 80-point dip because you were 30 days late. There's automatic bill pay. Um, you can pay quarterly instead of monthly. I know some things you can't. You got to pay monthly, but again, there's all kind of ways to keep yourself from ever being 30 days late. So, again, keep an eye on your accounts and never let a bill, especially a revolving bill that reports on your credit report, like a car, a credit card, your mortgage, um, anything that you know is reported on there, never let it be 30 days late. The next tip is um, keep your revolving account balance, credit cards, under 30%. Reason being is back in 2007 or 2008, when they adjusted the credit scores as well as the things that mattered when your credit score is being calculated, what they did not, and they didn't even make an announcement. What most people, especially if you're over the age of 45, you're probably still thinking that credit worked the way that it did when you first started out in life and when you were younger. And again, there was no big official announcement. They didn't tell anybody that the way credit scores were looked at and calculated to receive credit and so forth and so on had been changed. So at that point, they decided that anybody who has a card and they're paying, they're over 30% used on the balance, you're gonna take a hit on your bureau report. So anytime that card is over 30% used, and 30% could be whatever 30% of your balance is. So if it's $500, it's 30% of that. If it's 1,000, you want to keep it under the 30%. Um, and the last but not least tip is, once you pay off your old accounts or your collections, if you are paying down accounts, please do not close them if they're not closed. The amount of credit that you have on your report, whether it's being used or not used, really can make or break your score. I've seen people pay off credit cards and close the accounts, and their score take a 80, 100 point dip, and they're confused because they had paid it off and they just wanted to be done with it because they had gotten themselves in trouble with it before. Didn't want to repeat that again. You have to learn some discipline and cut the credit cards up, throw them away, do whatever it is that you need to do to keep from having to fall back into the same hole. But at the same time, that account needs to be left open on your credit report. It will help you. Any open account, whether being used or unused, is going to help your score because there's a ratio. They didn't let anybody know that. Official announcement. It matters how many open accounts and how many closed accounts you have on your credit report. For those of you again who say that you want some tips, if you follow these, you will start improving your credit score right away. I guarantee you will see a difference in your score in 30 days if you follow the tips that I just gave you. Shelby Page, credit expert. Again, hope this has been helpful. I will see you